Well, what I want to do is first and foremost is kind of talk about what we're doing at the North Township Trustee's office and how we are um, executing leadership, not only myself, but our entire team. So what we view our job as, and we represent Highland, Munster, Hammond, East Chicago, and Whiting. And right now what our role is first, one of the programs that we initially put together was making sure that senior citizens, the vulnerable population, senior citizens who were at risk with any kind of existing conditions such as heart disease or diabetes, so that they weren't going to the stores. We created a partnership or collaboration with Catholic Charities and also the Northwest Indiana Food Bank. So we identified a need, and the need was that you had senior citizens and people who were disabled who were unable to get out of their home. And then we found resources. And then we found volunteers. So what we've done is we've been able to take food to probably over 500 homes throughout Northwest Indiana. We also were able to work with Jeff Strack from Strack and Van Tills, or Stracks. They donated 100 bags. And what we were able to do is execute making sure that we got volunteers safely to the people's steps and get that to the individuals who need it. The second step of leadership at the North Township Trustee's office, we identified food shortages and supply chain shortages and making sure that people had access to nutrition. Then after that, what we did is we focused on the blood drive. And so what we did at the North Township Trustee's office is we went and gave blood in Maryville, like that first or second day in early March, to be able to show that it is safe and the precautions that they're taking to make sure that it's safe, and to execute letting people know that there is a national shortage of blood. And then we have had 3 blood drives at Wicker Park that has generated anywhere from 150 to maybe 200 pints of blood for individuals. And the third point that we're working on is we'll be rolling out the North Township Mental Health Wellness Hotline here in the next day or so. And the purpose of that is that this is a very isolating pandemic and people are alone at home. And so you have fear, anxiety, depression, and addiction, which are skyrocketing. And when that skyrockets, we want to make sure people know that they don't stand alone and there are avenues. Because the last thing you want someone to do who's suffering from any type of mental trauma is to think that they have nowhere to turn. So we have a work stoppage, and it has impacted people's lives almost immediately. And so what we're doing is we're working with Work One to make sure that we're getting accurate information out about unemployment and how you file for unemployment, and also the stimulus package.